welcome everybody.
And all good on both the Logan and Gateway motorways. I'm Peter Gooch on Brisbane's traffic leader, 882 4BC.
Come into Bunnings and grab it before it's gone. Amazing value on a projected 12-volt battery charger, just $49.95. Hurry into your local Bunnings or shop online today.
4BC celebrates the road to Paris.
Remembering those unforgettable Australian Olympic moments, brought to you by NRMA Insurance.
The cycling sprint final, London 2012.
Mears, tails are up, Pendleton leads, Mears has her in a sight, they get the bell. Mears stares straight ahead and goes straight up to Pendleton and goes to the bell and is going round the final bend.
Carrying some extra weight this morning. It's 11:24.
People like Pancakes Funerals, who for 5 generations have been helping care for local families.
With 4 locations across southeast Queensland, Alex Gow Funerals truly are the #1 choice.
At the Belvedere Woody Point, we invite you to come for the food, stay for the experience. There's our mouth-watering menu with something for everyone. Juicy steaks to fresh seafood platters for up to 4 people, and absolutely everything in between. And there's nothing better than sipping your favourite cocktail while watching the sunset over the water. Our sunset views are unforgettable. It's something you have to see to believe. Open 7 days for brekkie, lunch or dinner. The Woody Point for sunsets and celebrations.
Weekends on 4BC. Paying too much for your mobile plan? Break free from that expensive telco and escape to better value with the Escape Plan by Amazing.
4BC Weekends, it's Carla Vinyaska filling in for Peter Fegan. It's 24 minutes past 11. The second question in our rolling quiz for that family pass to Elvis, a musical revolution next Wednesday. Which city hosted the 2016 Olympic Games? Which city hosted the 2016 Olympic Games? Remember the answer to that one and the first one for your chance to go in the running to win that family pass. Now, on this day, the 23rd of June, let's look back through history at the milestones and events which happened on the 23rd of June. Today we celebrate International Olympic Day, which was established in 1948. It's a way to commemorate the day the International Olympic Committee was founded by Pierre de Coubertin, aka the father of the In 1903, the first Australian postage stamps were issued, replacing pre-Federation colonial stamps. And in 1961, the Antarctic Treaty signed. The treaty was the first arms control agreement signed during the Cold War. It set aside Antarctica as a scientific reserve and prohibits military activities on the continent. The first extraterrestrial message sent from Earth into space happened on this day in 1974. And in 1989, Tim Burton's contribution to the iconic Batman franchise premiered. The Oscar-winning film stars Michael Keaton in the lead role and Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
I've been dead once already.
I've been dead once already.
You should think of it as therapy.
Therapy.
as you can see, I'm a lot happier.
Absolutely iconic. However, I'm going to argue that Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker in The Dark Knight is arguably the greatest cinematic villain of all time. And can you believe this? After 20 years as a global superstar, Elton John finally got his first #1 hit in his home country of the UK. He had previously hit the top of the British charts with Don't Go Breaking My Heart, but of course that was alongside TBD. But on this day in 1990, he scored his first solo #1 with Sacrifice. For all the wrong reasons.
Live from Childers, Queensland, this is National 9 News.
Distance 1 kilometer. Duration 12 minutes 34 seconds. Pace 12 minutes 34 seconds per kilometer. 63 kilocalories burned.
Known, and there's confusion about the hostile smoke alarms. They were installed, but did they work?
We do know now the Childers Palace backpacker fire claimed the lives of 15 people, including 4 Australians. Robert Paul Long was later arrested for lighting the blaze and charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of arson. And on this day in 2016, following one of the biggest political gambles in history from then Prime Minister David Cameron, the UK voted to leave the European Union. In 2019, the Great Ash Party became the first Aussie woman since Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley. John with You're the One That I Want.
Olivia Newton-John. She passed a few years ago. Go on, hit that subscribe button. I know you want to. Still playing music.
And it's you can direct fan onto. Anyway, so what we look one of those.
Back in my bucket. Back in my bucket. Usually have a clip on this. zipper on the back clipped up. But I didn't bring the stupid clip. Should bring a zip tie or something. Once both zippers go down the backpack. It's not too bad, everything doesn't fall out. Back's open. But it's good for ventilation. I've got a USB-C cord. Find a piece of green twig or something. MacGyver.
Saying that the intrastate knows that.
I think so many people will be down here walking. Pull something off the tree. It's alright at the moment. I can see the double zips on my back. I've got this. I have to pull it off the strap. I hate it anyway. Hear the water running down there.
score like this, 66-6. The Titans' line speed and energy was great. The Warriors weren't there defensively at all. I think there was 35 missed tackles in the first half, which ended up with a 30-0 lead to the Titans. Keenan Palacia had his best game at the Titans, I think. Also, Aaron Clark through the middle, since he's been starting at lock, has been great with his ball playing and power running. And then off the back of that, Kieran Foran pulling the strings, and Keanu Kinney and Jaden Campbell seems to have found a little home at 5'8" there, so gave them plenty of space out wide as well. And it was a very clinical performance from the Titans. Des Hasler would have been very, very happy with it. There was a moment in the game.
Distance, 2 kilometers. Duration, 23 minutes, 34 seconds. Pace, 10 minutes, 59 seconds per kilometer. 120 kilocalories burned.
Yeah, my left leg's hurting now.
There's a lot of teams that are showing some serious inconsistency at the moment, but they jump up to 15th. The Titans are ahead of the Eels, and it's definitely a win that they'll take.
Speaking of inconsistencies, something that is definitely black and white, the high hit between the Roosters and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Yeah, poor Junior Ponga. You've got a feel for young blokes when they shoot up out of the line, and it's a very reactionary thing when a player falls. You've already committed to the tackle and you go through with it, but it's a send-off. You can't put yourself in that position. If you didn't put yourself in the position to make that contact, then it wouldn't have happened in the first place. So, you've got a feel for him. He'll get a fairly lengthy stint on the sideline, but it was probably the only negative out of a very good 80-minute performance from the Roosters. They were clinical.
Yeah, you can ride your bike. That's what.
Middle forward role, but the Roosters found that mismatch in the wet, and then off the back of that ruck speed, Brandon Smith coming back into the side had his best game of the year, I think, and under a bit of pressure too. James Tedesco could come off the back of it as well, and Sam Walker's short kicking game, it's no secret how good it is. It's been compared to Alan Langer, but another thing this year, I think, and the Bulldogs went with the Roosters for a decent period of the first half, and then they'll learn that errors and penalties, you can't do that against the top teams. But Sam Walker's long kicking game has come a long way this year, and I think it's been a big part of what's got them into the top 4.
Now, the Sea Eagles, they remain on donuts last night. Hang my head in shame.
Yeah, it was...
Rabbitohs 14-0.
It was a pretty tough game to watch, I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
South Sydney through the middle, wet conditions again. The whole sort of east coast of New South Wales was very wet and very windy last night. But the middle forwards, W. Moale, Keon Koloamatangi, and even Jai Arrow cutting back through the middle from his spot in the back row, really good from South Sydney. Just had a sort of stranglehold on Manly. They couldn't get any sort of penetration through the middle, which meant when they went wide in the opportunities that they did have, couldn't find any sort of space. And when South weren't great either on the other side of the ball, they defended a lot better. They were better through the middle, and they reaped rewards at the back end of both halves as a result of that. So South have really turned their season around. There's big attitude
Dragon Model, how you going?
For them, and I think it's going to. They can still make a run to the finals now. They can't afford many slip-ups, but for Manly, I think it's just a matter of waiting for your origin players and the big forwards to come back, because even Corey Waddell and Tofuapa Sipley that was playing last night were playing not 100%, so it's not ideal to go in against a side that's humming like South are at the moment.
There certainly will be questions to answer for Brookvale, I'm sure, after this weekend. Now, today you've got the Tigers v the Raiders at Campbelltown, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It will be a chilly one.
It's going to be very cold. It's probably still going to be very wet as well, because it was absolutely lashing it down in Sydney yesterday, but I'm going the Raiders, mainly because after this I'm going to a house full of Canberra supporters, and if I said that they were going to lose, I'd be in a little bit of trouble. The Tigers were good last week. They were very good and very gritty, but they're going to come up against a Canberra side who pride themselves on being very good and very gritty and haven't been in the last few weeks. And if we have learnt anything about Ricky Stewart and his time coaching, it's that Canberra will be up for this game, and I just think the Tigers are going to struggle to go with them. They're still missing some key forwards, so yeah, we'll go with the Raiders in this one.
They are the Green Machine after all. Now, I want to quickly go to Super Rugby. Obviously, the finals between the Blues and the Chiefs. That was fairly promptly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a whitewash in the end. Also in the wet and blue, was just so strong. They outmuscled they outmuscled the Chiefs through the middle pack. The ones who returning from injury was strong. And just opened up the chances for Caleb Park to score a hat-trick on the wing. For Finlay Christie, who's a working around from half-back. And they were the team at the start of the year that I looked at and fell to the Crusaders and something they would have been very disappointed in the semi-final last year. And in their side, the names I just mentioned, Mark Talea, Dalton Papali'i, off the Toronto Classy, it's a good side, the Blues, and been on 21 years between titles for them, full Super Rugby titles, and 41 to 10 winners in the end. I will also mention that in rugby that South Africa beat Wales, who the World was playing on the 52 to 16. I'm not sure how much will happen around that because South Africa was trying for the World Cup win. And they're very, very clearly the best team in the world. And also, one that's just came through is Tom Liner's recommitted to the Queensland Reds. So positive, he's in the Wallaby squad and is recommitting to the Queensland Reds and is going to play a key part in this rebuild of Australian rugby, I'm sure.
Hopefully. Now in the AFL, you had the Power versus Lions.
Yeah, 3 straight after the bye for the Lions, 152 to 73. This was it was a 20-year celebration of the 2004 Premiership win for Port Adelaide against the Lions, and I think the Lions definitely took that on notice and came out and decided to put a hell of a performance on. It was meant to be 2 quality sides, but there was a massive discrepancy in class yesterday. The Port midfield couldn't get anywhere near it. Lockie Neal had 37, Josh Dunkley had 32. They won the stoppages 42 to 27, and clearing it from that congestion. As a result, they were down 25 and inside 50 Port Adelaide. And Joe Dunkley with 5 and 3 each respectively. Good performance from the Lions, and now just 2 points out of that draw that they had against Adelaide. It could very well end up being a blessing for them because if Melbourne very nearly went down last night, and Lions would have been in the 8th. It was a good performance from the Lions, and their season's going truly back on track.
So on Melbourne and the Demons?
I can take away that North Melbourne a very aggressive football side, and they can score points in patches, and they've nearly beat Collingwood last week, and they beat West Coast the week before that. Even though they're last on the ladder, there's definitely some green shoots there for them, and at the moment I just think
when they're here,
are holding on to the end of the year.
Obviously summer in America.
Lead into the season with issues around Simon Goodwin and Clayton Oliver, and then before the season, or just as the season started, the news came
out. So cool.
Melbourne club officials had
showers, I suppose.
Players complained because they tested positive to illicit substances, and as a result, they wouldn't get tested.
You just look at some hot women, then go and have a cold shower.
That's what those 2 bands were. All that controversy. They started the season well. Christian Petrarca, that injury a couple of weeks ago was gruesome, and they've really fallen away, Melbourne. So it's going to be a tough end of the season for Richard French, who I know is a Melbourne supporter.
And the Battle of the Bridge, which is not really a Battle of a Bridge, the Sydney Derby.
Yes, 102 to 75. Not the hiccup that I predicted it was going to be. They're just that good. They're just a very, very good football team, Sydney, and had plenty to do up front, and then the 3 wins there in Chadwell and Isaac Heaney who controlled the game for them and are the most influential. But I want to also give a shout out to James Rowbottom, because he's that gutsy inside mid that every team needs. The Lions sort of have that in Josh Dunkley, the Suns have it in Matt Rao, and Collingwood have it in Jordan Tagoe, but James Rowbottom, 32 disposals, 20 of them in heavy traffic, 6 tackles. He was the one that brought the ball to ground. GWS like to
play rugby amongst the traffic
and not so great in the contest, and he was the one that brought that contest forward and was
rugby
Sydney were the beneficiaries for it. So another big win for Sydney.
Playing chicken.
This afternoon, of course, we're going to see the Bombers v the Eagles and the Dockers v the Suns. Who are you backing?
Still no Harley Reid for the Eagles, so I think it's Harley or bust for them, and Essendon will win that one. Those Essendon fans, by the way, they're 4th at the moment and be getting a nosebleed. And then Fremantle and the Gold Coast, the way these 2 teams play, it could be a very dour affair.
Yeah, it gets like that here too in Australia. That's why it's compulsory to have air conditioning.
At 13 minutes to 12, we're going to come back now. The ultimate sport, the primo sport, and you better be up on it.
Especially if you go up North Queensland. We've got mosquitoes too, so you need screens on your windows.
And there are ways off and on the long route.
That's like hot up. Well, time to
road through Kippeling into Pleasantdale, and then heavy southbound between Helensvale and Mullandina. Northbound delays through Slags Creek. Meantime, all clear on the Bruce Highway. I'm Peter Gooch on Brisbane's traffic leader, 882 4BC.
How can you make Brisbane's 4BC sound even better? Download the 4BC app to your smartphone or stream on your PC. 4bc.com.au.
Want to see the very best rugby league played at Australia's most iconic sporting ground? Well, here's your chance. Tickets are still available for the Game 2 of the Ampol State of Origin series this Wednesday night at the historic MCG in Melbourne. Now, we all know this is a decider, so it's going to be a fierce battle between two arch rivals. Will the Blues bounce back, or can the Maroons secure another series win? Be there to witness a night of unreal footy at the G. Head to nrl.com/tickets to secure your seats.
Hey, Colin, you're wasting energy. No, I'm saving by switching things off.
Dad, I can't see.
Don't just switch off to save, switch over to a better energy deal with Comparsa Market. You have the power, Colin! Every dollar counts. He's finally clicked. Wake up to waste. Switching energy providers is easy. Here comes technology.
Visit Compare the Market to see the range of brands and products we compare.
Simple.
As we go about our increasingly busy lives, it seems that sometimes we don't take enough time to really consider the purpose and value that comes from a caring and meaningful funeral ceremony, the loving support of family and friends, and the opportunity to pause and pay our respects to
Distance 3 kilometers. Duration 34 minutes 38 seconds. Pace 11 minutes 4 seconds per kilometer. 188 kilocalories burned.
$3,800 worth of tools for just $1,999. Plus, choose 2 of 30 great AEG bonus options, including skins or 18-volt batteries available via redemption. Terms and conditions apply. Don't miss out. Get in before the offer ends. June 30. Touchdown sorted at Bunnings Train.
Push, another one.
You're listening to Weekends with Carla Vinyasa, filling in for Peter Fegan on Brisbane's 4BC.
It's 10 minutes to midday on 4BC Weekends. We are in the middle of sport. We were talking to Greg Armstrong, author of the book about the Beatles, the 60th anniversary tour to Australasia, and it appears there's been some conjecture, and I believe we need a retraction. Sam Leckie, you're in on this. You're not just a sport reporter now, you're a fact checker and also the producer of this show alongside me usually. So, apologies to Peter Beattie, you're not an egg thrower. Although we are now trying to find out whether David Beattie, who was with Bob Cutter at Eagle Farm Airport, was responsible for throwing eggs at the Beatles when they arrived as a gesture of love, it might seem. So, Nina, you are indeed right. You've texted them through 0499 880 882. The author didn't say Peter Beattie. She said
the Beatles.
David, he said David Beattie. So let's get to the bottom of that because I know that's a burning question here on Sunday morning. Sam.
Hello.
Let's talk cricket first.
Yeah, Australia playing Afghanistan at the moment, their second match in the Super 8 stage of this World Cup. Afghanistan actually got off to a really good start. They didn't quite get away from Australia. No Mitchell Starc today.
Rainforest down there.
The two frontline spinners, Ashton Agar and Adam Zampa. They're playing in St Vincent and we know that turns. So they've gone with the two spinners. But Afghanistan scored 118 for the first wicket through Gurbaz and Zadran. But then Adam Zampa, as he so often does, comes on and breaks that partnership. And they've all, Marcus Stoinis broke the partnership. Zampa's gone bang bang after that. So they're 3 for 126 now with 2 overs remaining, and they're probably going to, I think they'll think they left a few out there. Because they had a really good start, and now they've got 2 new batsmen in the crease trying to finish the innings off against Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood. So Aussie's travelling pretty well, but we know that pitch.
Can't wait if it happens.
We know Australia doesn't like playing spin. We also know that Afghanistan had a serious spin attack led by Rashid Khan. So it's going to be interesting, that one.
I'm glad that we have you to report on this because, of course, the T20 World Cup is only being shown on Amazon Prime, is that right?
It is.
So many of these sports now being paywalled, and I could pretty much point a finger at every sport in this country that we lose interest in, well, at least for my part, because they put it behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Cricket is up there. And unfortunately, because T20 is like one of, if I'm going to have to pick at all the crickets, and when I say that, I sound like I have no idea. I have no authority on cricket, but the faster game for me, T20, is the most interesting. Test match cricket at Christmas time is the worst time of year for me. I never saw my husband.
I'm at the exact opposite end of the spectrum. And I understand though, because Test cricket adheres to absolutely zero of the entertainment principles that we understand. What other, if it was invented today and you were told that over your summer holidays you had to sit down and watch 5 days of these two teams in Baker's whites throwing a leather ball at each other and hitting it with a stick, it wouldn't work.
You know what the
But I love Test cricket.
No, the entertainment equivalent is those slow documentaries, you know, where like people sit on a train for 6 hours and you just follow the train like around Siberia and whatever. That's the equivalent for me. But I know I'll upset a lot of cricket fans out there. But like I said, I like T20. The fact that it's paywalled and I can't see it annoys me. So thank you for your update. Now, one sport that I love a lot, along with Chelsea here, our studio technician operator extraordinaire, is at the F1. I'm just so reticent to talk about it, and I want to know why.
Well, are you a McLaren fan?
I'm a Ferrari fan, but I love Lando Norris, and I love that he's on pole.
He is on pole. Max Verstappen second. I think the gap between Red Bull and the other, well, Ferrari, Mercedes obviously, but McLaren very close in fourth there. It's starting to close at the moment. We've seen Verstappen's only won 2 of the last 4 races. It's still pretty good, but based on what we saw from him last year, what he win 19 out of the 20 last year, it's not the record that we'd expect from him. Lewis Hamilton is in third there. Oscar Piastri in 10th. He didn't have a great qualifying, but who definitely didn't have a great qualifying, and I would go to the extent to say awful, was Daniel Ricciardo. And unfortunately for all Aussie fans, and I'm a McLaren fan because of the Daniel Ricciardo at McLaren stage.
For like a blink of an eye.
It's what got me into F1 though when he was at McLaren. And that's why I'm supporting McLaren now, and I'm lucky that Oscar Piastri's there. But unfortunately for Aussie F1 fans, I really think we're starting to see the back of Daniel Ricciardo. He didn't get that Red Bull seat, even though I don't think it was really his to lose when Sergio Perez, his contract was up in the air. But unfortunately for Daniel Ricciardo, it's going to be really tough for him to have a seat next year.
Well, the axe looms very close to his neck, but Yuki Tsunoda, obviously his teammate, they've qualified 17th and 18th on the grid. There's not much between them. They've got 9 points on the board, so there's not much. It's a line ball between those, but there are so many young, great drivers out there that are willing to take up a seat. I'm not going to outline and say that Jack Doohan has got the goods.
Did Alpine at the moment? They're a decent setup behind a couple of good drivers, but
if we need to swap out an Aussie driver for another one, that would be it. But that is where my passion lies. And I know everyone goes, it's motorsport, they just go round and round. I don't care. I love the spectacle of it. I love the strategy. I think it's brilliant. And then Sam Newton, obviously for Jordan Thompson very quickly at Queensland overnight.
Yeah, he went down to Lorenzo Massetti in 3 sets. It was a good performance. But positive news, not far away in Birmingham with Isla Tomljanovic winning against them. Getting through to the final there. She'll play Kuznetsova from Ukraine tonight.
I know that you enjoy watching Isla's fine body of work in the tennis. Let's take a quick break. After that, we'll have the third quiz question here on Weekend at 4BC.
Has injury or illness left you unable to work? No matter how it happened or who's to blame, Monaco lawyers are experts at getting total and permanent disability payouts for injured workers. Last year alone, we secured over $68 million for the with our no-win, no-fee guarantee. Your claim is risk-free, so you won't pay a cent until you win the case. For free claim advice, search Monaco lawyers and put your claim in safe hands.
This is the decider we've all been waiting for this Thursday night. Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville hosts Game 3 of the Ampol Women's State of Origin Series, and it's a sellout. The stage is set for a blockbuster between the Mighty Maroons and the Sky Blues. Footy does not get any better than this. Let's go Queensland. The Ampol Women's State of Origin exclusive, live and free from 7:30 on Thursday night on 9 and 9 Now.
Wella, everybody's going to buy white spices.
This, of course, is for your chance to win a family pass to Elvis and Musical Revolution next Wednesday. The family titles will be the name for which Australian band? Remember, calling out. That is the quiz question. 133882. You have to answer to all.
Yeah, there's a cover you can get for these Sony cameras. They're made with a 3D printer. I think it's RL Pro Tools or something.com. You get a full case for the lens protector, the Sony. And it's got like a couple little bolts actually, you screw them in, or Allen keys, you screw them in, bolts, and they hold the cables in. They're like 200 US, 400 Australian dollars for two of them. The full bodied version. And they're black, so they're not as noticeable as the white camera. I was thinking about it. It's cheaper to buy two than it was to buy one. I could probably, yeah, since I've got bloody 4 of those cameras anyway. You only really need them if you like just projection wise. I think one comes with a polarizing lens too for bright days. Pull the plug and I should do it. News time.
Good afternoon, I'm Natalie Bohensky. The Queensland opposition leader maintains nuclear energy is not part of his party's plan ahead of the state election. The state government has accused David Crisafulli of not being honest about nuclear, given he's previously opposed it in Queensland. They claim he will be rolled by the federal party. Mr Crisafulli says his focus is on restarting the Callide Power Station and scrapping the Pioneer Burdekin pumped hydro project.
You've asked me about this for not just for the last 5 days. I've been asked about this repeatedly, and I've repeatedly said it's not part of our plan. Now, that debate can happen in Canberra. My focus is on Queenslanders, and I do believe we have a credible plan to keep the lights on in this state and allow people to be able to afford their electricity.
The Brisbane City Council has demanded more investment in the city's bus services to avoid a crisis when 50-cent public transport fares begin in August. Transport Chair Ryan Murphy says they need an annual $100 million investment per year to get the network off life support. He says the state is holding services back.
In fact, their funding share for buses and ferries has dropped from 56% to 37% over the last decade, while it continues to pocket 100% of their revenue. So Brisbane City Council is the only council in Queensland that now contributes towards public transport service costs. We're seeking a better deal for
Distance, 4 kilometers. Duration, 47 minutes, 8 seconds. Pace, 12 minutes, 30 seconds per kilometer. 258 kilocalories burned.
Caravan park just after midnight. Meanwhile, a 73-year-old male driver was killed in a single car crash into a tree at Ringside.
Theo, come here.
The clear skies, as I mentioned, and a fair bit of a cool southerly wind flow has brought us a bit.
Healthcare practitioners registered in the first 10 months of this financial year is more than 2 times larger than the year before COVID. And hunger relief charities say they're happy with extra funding secured in this month's state budget. The Premier has toured Food Bank Queensland's Morningside operations today after the organisation received a $2.8 million boost. CEO Jess Watkinson says it allows them to expand their reach. It's going to allow us to better service both our bulk
Take my jumper off.
and medium members and allow us to better service our
Put you down for a sec.
We have over 397 throughout Queensland. Oz Harvest and Second Bite also received extra funding.
Sport. Listen to Money News, Monday to Thursday night from 7 on 4BC.
The Maroons won't take a backward step when they run out onto the MCG Thursday night. New South Wales is 4 of 5 Origin clashes at the Cauldron. Queensland forward Ruben Cotter says he's looking forward to playing at the famous arena.
Obviously, going to a crowd stadium like that, you can use that to fuel your guys. We're really excited to get down there.
The NRL overnight wins to the Titans, Rabbitohs and Roosters. At the T20 Men's World Cricket Cup, a short time
Warming up a bit.
was 4 for 126 after 18 overs in their clash with Australia. And Minjin Lee is the best placed Aussie at the Women's PGA Championship. She'll move to the final round 9 shots behind leader Amy Yale. It's forecast
that wind.
Switch to the HP Smart Tank printer this tax time. This smart connected tank printer can print up to 6,000 black pages without the hassle of buying replacement cartridges. That's about 2 years worth of printing. Easy to set up and easy to use. You can even print and scan from anywhere within the HP Smart app. Ask for HP this tax time. Come into your local retailer to see the range. T's and C's apply. Visit hp.com.au/smarttank for more.
Traffic. Listen to Money News, Monday to Thursday night from 7 on 4BC.
In South Brisbane, Cordelia Street's closed between Peel and North Street tonight for crane removal works. A little busy inbound on the Riverside Expressway, Old Cleveland Road. There are delays off and on both ways between Carindale and Coorparoo. M1's heavy southbound between Coomera and Helensvale. Northbound delays through Slacks Creek. Meantime, that accident on Beams Road and Bridgeman Downs has been cleared. Still a bit of congestion around that intersection. I'm Peter Gooch on Brisbane's traffic leader, 882 4BC.
G'day, it's Max here, head sports trainer at my local club. There is no game where I don't prep the team for winning with a warm-up time deep heat massage, preparing muscles for peak performance and reducing the risk of injury. After the game, it's all about recovery time, and that's where Ice Gel comes in. Fast targeted pain relief from an iconic brand you know and trust. Feel it work.
Always read the label and follow the directions for use. It's just before dawn. There's been a storm. The customer needs help.
All hands on deck, car.
Judy's a claims assessor with NRMA Insurance.
Look after the cats for me, please.
In her 34 years with us, she's seen plenty of disasters like this. And we've got plenty of people like Judy.
Let's start with a cup of tea.
Our people have spent a lifetime preparing for the things you can never prepare for. NRMA Insurance. We're here to help. Always read the PDS and TMDs from NRMA Insurance at nrma.com.au.
4BC weather. Brought to you by NRMA Insurance.
Partly cloudy with a slight chance of an afternoon shower. 21 the top for Brisbane and the baseline 22 Ipswich. Similar 22 and 23. Sunny on Wednesday, a shower to Thursday 21. On Moreton Bay, southwesterly winds at 15 knots, seas below a metre. It's 19 degrees at Upper Mount Gravatt. More news at 1 on your home of the Olympics, Brisbane's 4BC.
Bill McDonald, Sophie Formica, Peter Gleeson, all live, all local. 4BC.
I'm going to test this thing in the bush. See if I keep signal.
It is a beautiful winter's day, a top of 21 degrees in the River City and sunny. Let us know what you're up to. If you're out and about today, I did say at the start of the show, if you've been hanging in there for that long, thank you and good luck for your grey matter. But I did say that I may steer this ship into some uncharted territory, and I believe we're here because the answer to the third quiz question, the rolling quiz, was meant to be done before midday, and I've stuffed with the natural order of things. So 133 882. If you have the answer to all three questions of the rolling quiz, 133882, and you could win those family pass to Elvis, a musical revolution next Wednesday at Hodder. It is 4BC Weekends. My name is Carla Vinyaska. I am in the chair for Peter Fegan, who is taking a bit of a break. Now, Dr. Nick Coatsworth, you'll be joining me in a few moments to chat about living forever. Would you even want to if you could? We're also going to touch base with Mark Levy to find out how much leftover cake there is. I'm guessing 0 from the Big Man's birthday party last night, of course, as part of the continuous pool team. Gary Youngberry will be along to have your long-range weather forecast, and Mia Glover will chat about what's coming up on 9 News tonight. Of course, your feedback is always welcome. 133882 is the open line,
hard to grow.
and 0499 882 is the text line for you to take part in the show. Let's do the rolling quiz first. All right. We have Steve from Coomera on the line. Hello, Steve.
How you doing?
I'm very well. Okay, I need the answers to all 3 questions.
I think the first one I didn't quite get. Look, I think it's pound sterling or imperial. The second one is 2032, and the last one is in excess.
I'm sorry, Steve, but the answer is not 2032. It does have something to do with the Olympics, but that is all I'm going to say. All right, Peter in Chermside, do you have the answers to the rolling quiz?
Oh, yes, I do. Woohoo.
Okay, and that rhymes and you didn't know it. Okay, what are the answers?
No. So number 1 was the UK pound. Number 2 was the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ferris brothers are now known as In Excess.
Congratulations, Peter from Chermside. You are off to see Elvis, a musical revolution, next Wednesday at Hodder on the Gold Coast. Well done. Thank you so much for listening.
Oh, thank you very much for your questions. They were brilliant.
It's the least I can do. I didn't write them. You have a wonderful weekend.
Oh, you too. Thank you very much.
See you, Peter. All right, now at the peak of the pandemic, Dr. Nick Coatsworth was the reassuring voice of calm and reason during a really tumultuous and, dare I say it, unprecedented time. It thrust the former Deputy Chief Medical Officer into the spotlight and to the forefront of the entire Australian psyche. Before that, Dr. Nick led humanitarian teams for Médecins Sans Frontières and practiced humanitarian medicine all over the world, including the Congo and the Darfur region of Sudan. He can now add TV host to his resume, fronting Nine's new 4-part series, Do You Want to Live Forever, alongside Tracy Grimshaw. And I'm pleased to say that Nine's resident medico, Dr. Nick Coatsworth, joins us on 4BC Weekends. Welcome, Dr. Nick.
Well, thank you. That was a lovely intro. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you. Can you just firstly believe that it's just 4 short years ago since the pandemic?
Well, I can't actually, and I think that so many Australians feel the same way. It feels like almost a decade. Although I have to say, I am working at Canberra Hospital today, right now, and it's still around, the old COVID, and there's a bit of flu around, and winter is sort of hitting our public hospital. So we've got to sort of remain as sort of vigilant as we can be. It's something that we're living with at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, this doesn't say. Have we become complacent since the pandemic?
I think we've reverted back to how we were in 2019, but I think that's how we have to be going forward. We have to protect our hospitals as much as we can, of course we do, and the patients who are in them, but at the end of the day, this is a virus that's now going to be with us, and we've got to find ways to live with it.
Yeah, and I guess there's some data that's come out that sort of named and shamed Australian aged care facilities for not providing COVID-19 boosters. Now, obviously, that's hard data. That's facts that we can see. 97 care homes are providing less than 10% of their residents with a booster since last winter.
I mean, that's just an appalling statistic. And I mean, when you consider that the boosters cost $100, that an antiviral costs $1,000 for a course, and that a hospital bed costs $1,000, then I think that those residential aged care providers are doing they're doing the health system a disservice. And I think it can be confusing for families because I'm someone who's had the recommended number of adult doses, which was 3. Now some adults have chosen to have more than that, but over 65s, we recommend an annual booster. So I think sometimes the message can get a bit confused there, and some families may well not understand that their parent or grandparent in residential aged care really does need that regular booster shot.
Well, I think that I don't think that the message has been lost, or I just feel like the message hasn't been there at all.
Yeah, I mean that could be true as well. I think that is true. But I mean, they have been plugging the residential aged care facilities that the health department has, and we don't want to lock our elderly down anymore. Isolation, loneliness, these are important things for longevity, or they decrease your longevity. That's for sure.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so I think we need to be able to give the boosters and keep those facilities open.
I mean, apart from learning all about infectious diseases and your wonderful work,
distance 5 kilometers, duration 59 minutes 26 seconds, pace 12 minutes 17 seconds per kilometer, 325 kilocalories burned.
It's a great segue. You are doing this 4-part series in longevity. It is important to have friends, isn't it? It's important to stay social.
It is, and I mean, I suppose the best way to think about it is, the friendships that we have in our 20s, 30s, and 40s, they're worth nurturing. And your mates can be irritating, family can be even more irritating. But at the end of the day, that close sort of connection is the sort of thing that I saw when I went to Japan. And the common theme when you're seeing people who are in their 80s and 90s and definitively fit. I mean, these people, as we saw in the first episode, the ladies in Okinawa, moving their hands above their shoulders as they're sort of on the verge of truly hip-hop dancing. They call themselves hip-hop dancers. They were almost there. Pretty good. And the common theme there was they were there as friends with their great-granddaughters, showing an example to their great-granddaughters about what it's like to be a healthy 80 and 90-year-old.
I'm joined this morning by Dr. Nick Coatsworth, of course, is fronting this documentary series, Do You Want to Live Forever, which airs on our network on Monday, so tomorrow at 7:30. It is absolutely fascinating. You've travelled to all different parts of the world to see what it is that helps people live longer. Not many people can boast the triple threat, I guess, of specialist infectious disease physician, of TV host and media personality. Have you been dealing with all this attention?
Look, I mean, I think the change has been because there's only so many patients that I will see in my remaining clinical career, and being able to get a message out there that's so much further upstream than the treatment that I'm giving here in the hospital today, which is obviously important. But thinking now about what can we do before we get into a cycle of chronic disease, and even early in chronic disease. Michael Mosley, who was such a great forerunner for what a TV media doctor can actually do. His tragic death only a couple of weeks ago, but he showed people that early onset diabetes can be reversed with weight loss and diet, and certainly it can be well controlled with those things. So there's so many positive messages we can get out there, and I kind of hope that the show does that. We've certainly have seen a lot of people around Australia standing on one leg with their arms crossed and their eyes closed as they test their own longevity.
Can I just say, okay, so if anyone missed the first episode of Do You Want to Live Forever, one of the tests of longevity was a single leg balance challenge. And this is basically you stand up, cross your arms over your chest, you close your eyes and you lift one leg off the ground. I am not kidding. As I drove in this morning before 6 a.m, I saw a gentleman out the front of our workplace here doing exactly that this morning in the cold. It was chilly start to the morning here in Brisbane.
Well, that's so gratifying because it takes a lot these days for a TV show to get people talking and thinking about that stuff. And I mean, it is so important.
That bit right. Seems to be alright. 3 modems. And it's going to get a lot thicker in here. The canopy I'm talking about. Last time I brought a mobile phone stream through here and I went around the top part. I had signal in certain parts but it kept dropping out a little bit. So here we go. I've got the bit rates here. Welcome to the stream bush. Possum boxes. You can come in here at night with a torch. A bright LED torch. The sun. That's back up the hill. Let's find the honey pot. Iron bark trees. Probably a lot of bike riders come through here. Don't think you're supposed to camp in here. There's some grass growing. There's not much light. Certainly can't do a fire, I'm pretty sure. It's a reserve. It's not a park, it's a reserve. There's plenty of bird life, wildlife in here too, snakes and things. Koalas. There's an ant's nest up the tree. White ant. They love wood. Signal went down a little bit, but still there. Still 7,500 plus. I've only got, hang on, I got 3. So I've got 3 modems. Walking track. No horses, no bikes. Oh, that's probably asking to travel that one. We can do that one another time. There's another walking track that side too, little gully. Keep the walking trails, they say. We're going to get lost in the woods. Here's some birds too. Hear bird noises I don't usually hear. They do have bird walks and things in here. By volunteers. Hear it? Looks dry. Another one this side. Possum box. Some of these trees can be called another possum box, widow makers, falling branches. Don't think I would have had signal if I was just coming through here with the phone by itself. It says 1 bar there. I've got 7,000 bit rate. Figure that one out.
decades is not easy. But hopefully it shows that it can be done, and with some people that they can relate to.
Absolutely. They are a great cross-section of everyday Australians, and we really appreciate not only your time and effort, obviously, through the pandemic, but your time today on 4BC Weekends. Do You Want to Live Forever? It airs tomorrow at 7:30 on 9 and 9 Now. Go back. I'm sorry to have kept you from your patients. I'm sure they're waiting for you. They've probably got autographs they want signed and things. It's not every day you get a TV doctor bedside.
Well, it puts a little bit of a smile on their face, and I hope takes their mind a little bit off the fact that they're in hospital. But you're right, I've got to get back into my work.
I'm Peter Gooch from Business Traffic Leader, 882 4BC.
Get 30% off signature range cabinetry. Plus, earn double velocity points when you purchase a Freedom Kitchen at freedomkitchens.com.au.
As we go about our increasingly busy lives, it seems that sometimes we don't take
Have to look up
enough
whether you're allowed to
time
camp in
really
here or not.
consider the purpose and value that comes
Probably
from a
not.
caring and meaningful funeral ceremony, the loving support of family and friends, and the opportunity to pause and pay our respects to one who has touched our lives are all part of a time-honoured process that helps us to progress through one of life's most difficult times.
Alex Gow Funerals. Always thoughtful, always caring.
Rivalry arrives at the MCG when the New South Wales Blues take on the
Got
Queensland
2 bars or
Maroons in
3
Game
bars,
2 of
5G
the
in
AFL
here.
State of Origin on Wednesday, June 26, where the best of the best takes centre stage in
10,000
Australia's
bit rate.
sporting rivalry. The only thing that compares to the intensity, ferocity and rivalry on the field is the all-consuming rivalry that splits the fans in the stands. With tickets from just $25.
All this gets washed away in the floods. This is a 8.1. There's another track. Just let me test myself. Scan it. It's a vibration you hear. Do it twice. Yeah, 8.1. Six kilometers. Oh, this could be a bit tricky. There's a bit of cover here.
Sort of widespread again, inland, the southern downs, western downs. Not so bad for the southeastern corner or near the coast. Still a bit fresh tomorrow morning, but from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're looking at some warmer mornings heading our way.
And we had the winter solstice, so the shortest day of the year on Friday. I think we're going to welcome longer days from here on in.
Yeah, look,
We've got a board to cross. I wonder who brought the board down here.
It's an incredible full moon last night.
I was just going to say, the full moon was out. Did you sprout any extra hairs, any werewolves in your midst?
Well, certainly not on my head, no doubt about that. It was spectacular just watching that rise last night. But I'm afraid, look, it is winter. We've had a perfect run. We can expect just a couple of showers this week, and it looks like so far it's going to turn out to be a relatively dry June.
All right, not good for us gardeners, green thumbs out there, and certainly not for the farmers. They always are in need of rain. Gary, thank you so much for your time. We'll catch you on 9 News.
Have a great afternoon.
Wonderful. Now, we've been talking a little earlier about the Beatles. It's the 60th anniversary of their tour across Australia and New Zealand. We've had a whole bunch of texts to come in. Apologies to Peter Beattie, it wasn't you, it was David Beattie, who apparently was on the shoulders of Bob Catter. It was Jason via text 0499 880 882 who has brought to our attention the fact that Bob Catter was in fact interviewed on the Today Show about the egg incident this week. Let's take a listen.
It was very intellectual. A bloke called Gary Williams kicked my door open at 2 o'clock in the morning. Said, get your gear on, we're going to eat the Beatles. Beatle motor car. And I got up and I was going to fight him, you know, and he said, not that, you idiot, you know. Love me do. You know, what do we want to eat the Beatles? He said, you got anything better to do between now and milk run? We used to feed milk off the other colleges at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I said, well, no, I haven't, you know. The next day when I did international interviews, this just shows I had the makings of a politician, I said, it was an intellectual reaction against Beatlemania. Well, if I wanted to go to strict truth, it was, you got anything better to do?
So there you have it. It wasn't potentially a protest, a political protest, a message that he was sending. He was just being a delinquent. Although no one's going to be throwing eggs these days at the cost of living. Eggs are so expensive. They're about $12 a pop. For one egg.
$12 for one egg.
$8.82. Were you there?
Jeez,
Did you
it's got
see
ridiculous
Bob
now,
Catter
isn't it?
hurling eggs at the Beatles? They arrived at Eagle Farm Airport.
Hey man, want an egg?
And they were met by tens of thousands of Australians all over the country, but especially in Brisbane.
Supply
an
and demand.
amazing time in history. It's 32 minutes past 12. We'll be back after the news.
I had one egg this morning and 2 bits of bacon. Only half strips.
Beijing 2008.
And I got sandwiches made from yesterday. Lunch today. Empty tomato on low carb there. Not eating more carbs and still keeping them low.
Personal best of 6 metres. Here he goes.
On the runway now. The gold medal seeker from West Australia. He goes up and he clears it. He wins the gold.
Seems to be doing better, but at night it seems to be going up a bit. So maybe I need to eat my bigger meals and breakfast and lunch and lower the carbs
The
at
very
dinner.
best rugby league played at Australia's most iconic sporting ground. Well, here's your chance. Tickets are still
help,
available.
but
for
they're a
Game
lot
2
better during the
of
day.
Ampol's State of Origin
I can get them
series
down quickly,
this Wednesday
even if they
night
are
at
high
historic
overnight.
MCG in Melbourne. And we all know that this is a decider,
Just have
so
to
it's
get up
going to be
early
a
hours in the
fierce
morning and do
battle
it.
between two arch rivals. Will the Blues bounce back? Can Maroons secure another series
Call it
win?
self-medication,
Be there
being
to
your own
witness a
doctor.
night of unreal
Sliding
footy.
scale.
Head to NRL.com
All
/tickets to secure
all
your
combined.
seats.
Collecting containers doesn't have to stop at home. Change it up. Put a bag or box in the car to collect your empties while out and about. Then return them with containers
That's
to
parked
change
down
for
there
10
too.
cents each.
Oh, that
Agro here for seats are us.
one. This used to be a bakery. I don't know whether this is a restaurant or something now. Yeah, it's sort of Italian bakery. I think it was like a normal bakery. Right. I think it was a normal Australian bakery, you know, the donuts and cream buns and things. Long John and donuts, jam cream.
Add value to your home with new hybrid flooring.
I think I bought it and turned it into like a modern Italian patisserie or something.
Warm up for winter and save up to 50% on rugs. Traditional rugs, big rugs, small rugs, save up to 50%. Harvey Norman clearance. Best brands, best range, at the best price guaranteed. Conditions and exclusions apply.
I can't eat that sort of stuff. Really can't.
I know. Do you know what? My name correctly, and you know what? To my ancestors, I think you're welcome. But for so many years, we'd anglicised my name, and I was Big Nasca, hence Bigsy. So I answered to anything.
You know what, Carla? It's actually not that hard for me to say. If you see some of the names getting around in rugby league these days that I've got to try and spit out at a million miles an hour when we're calling the footy, it's very, very difficult.
Hats off to you, honestly. I am, you know, Sam obviously does a great job here. He fills in for Salty on Wide World Sports, and he just knows names and it rolls off the tongue. And then when I hear you and the continuous call team, and when you call games live, it is an art, can I just say. I tip my hat, sir.
Oh, thank you, Carla. Well, it's funny. I mean, a long time ago, Ray Hadley gave me some very valuable advice, and it's probably advice I could give to Sam. But if you can't say somebody's name, it's to always an Australian taking on a Iranian.
There's so many different varieties too. The beef leader, I reckon about 150 or so.
Wherever they're playing from. But it's amazing. Like,
so I don't know if it's come from the wild, but I don't know if it changes itself.
That's just
mutates.
You spend all your time worried about the big one, and then you stuff up the short one. But
so they got free range hens now.
For me, it's the opposite. If someone tells me, do not say this.
We're outside the barn and they get affected by the birds. Shit.
Invariably, I will say it like that.
Something like that.
So you've got to be careful.
Well, you've got to be very, very careful. And look, I have a propensity of mixing the first name and the surname, so I'm very glad that Carmichael Hunt is no longer playing in the National Rugby League, because that could have been
always a sticky situation. Very quickly, Big Man celebrated his birthday yesterday. Was there any?
Yeah, made a cauliflower soup with some onions and a little bit of bacon. Day before. It's okay, I didn't really like it. I'm going to stick to the pumpkin one.
It's not as good as the ones you used to dish up for birthdays with all the little Kit Kats and Crunchies and everything else, but it was
Unless I find something else to make.
For the big man. So we got a sugar hit at about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and then it just spiraled out.
Find some other vegetable.
I'll have to get some sugar for him today.
Hasn't got too much sugar in it.
I don't know if you managed to catch my chat with Dr. Nick Coatsworth just before. He obviously hosts on 9 Do You Want to Live Forever? I saw a gentleman at the front of the radio station this morning before 6 a.m. doing one of the tests to see whether or not you're going to live past the next 10 years. I'm paraphrasing. It's far more involved than that, but let's go with it. And the test is this, Levy, and I want you and the members of the CCT to do this afternoon, and I want a video of it just for my own personal gratification, for my own collection. So basically, you stand on one leg, you cross your arms over your chest, you close your eyes, and you see how long you can stand on one leg.
Usually a walkway under there.
Ooh, I like
that probably ends up with that other park. They pretty much connect to each other.
Can Sam send me the story, please, so I can, because I know what I'm like. I'll be worried about football and I'll forget to do it. So, Sam, if you can send me the story, I will do that, and I will film it and we'll put it up on our websites, and I'll send it through to you,
Carla. Well, basically, he's going to do it. Thumbs up. Basically, if you can stand on one leg with your eyes closed for longer than 15 seconds, don't worry, you're not going to die in the next 10 years. That should be a positive.
Ooh. I lasted 4 seconds.
All right, well, before you kill you off, Levy, what's happening in the footy this afternoon?
Well, we'll obviously continue the countdown to Origin. A few different stories to discuss this afternoon. The Titans secured their biggest ever victory last night over the Warriors, 66-6. Where's Kenny Callender when you need him? And this afternoon we'll bring you live coverage from Campbelltown with the West Tigers up against the Canberra Raiders. So big afternoon ahead, Carla. We need all weekend.
Why, thank you. And you know what I'll be doing at 11 o'clock tonight, don't you?
What's that?
You're very wise not to step into that trap. The F1, the Spanish Grand Prix is on. You know that's my thing.
You're going to do something else.
I forgot, yes. The Formula One is your thing, but I can safely say, given I'm backing up to fill in for Ben Fordham on breakfast tomorrow on 2GB, at 11 o'clock I plan on being in a coma. So you'll have to send through the results because I'll be asleep.
And a complete lack of interest. All right, I won't hold you up any longer. Thank you, Leaves. Enjoy the football this afternoon and stay warm.
Thank you, Carla.
All right.
I'm going to show the sun should be
we're
right.
We're going to go to news next with lovely Mia Cooper. All right, I'm out of here at 1 o'clock, but the continuous bulletin obviously.
Midnight Oil in
If you want more news, there's no better than going to straight to the source, freshly squeezed by the lovely Mia Glover.
Distance 7 kilometers. Duration 1 hour 25 minutes 30 seconds. Pace 12 minutes 25 seconds per kilometer. 456 kilocalories burned.
That was the sound of me waving, not drowning.
Burn.
Or drowning, not waving. You're here now. All right. So, on the front page of the on the front page of the Courier Mail, there's this fight over
front page of the telly
of Great Keppel Island and the future, I guess, of what that island will be. And is it completely in doubt? It's a story that you're following as well, isn't it, Mia?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're going to have a deep dive into this one. So there's apparently a brand new fresh native tidal claim, and it's putting the future of this amazing tourism mecca, Great Keppel Island, in doubt. We know that it's just off Rocky. You can get there. A lot of families go there. So there is a bit of a...
scared the shit out of me. Wake me up. I was smelling pizza.
He's going to try and put a block to it. So we're going to take that to the Premier today, and we'll have his response coming up in the news tonight as well.
There's so many spots that I'm learning of up and down the Capricorn Coast, part of the southern part of the Great Barrier Reef. So many of these little islands. Double Island was in the news yesterday, along with Great Keppel today, where the leasehold is up, or foreign investors come in and bought it up.
The customers wanted in-store only. It's free.
And the places are beautiful. They are a little slice of paradise, but they're being left to wreck and ruin. Oh, absolutely. And I know that there's several islands that I've done stories on before that are actually up for sale. That some families have bought and that sort of thing.
I'm going to smoke break. Domino's pizza.
Always get close to 20 calls.
Mutton dressed up as lamb. Another bottle of shopping there too.
The council about
Not that I'll be drinking
this
anything.
story, the 50-cent public transport fares that will kick into effect in August. And obviously Stephen Miles has responded today
Ban myself from it.
in a presser. But it's a story that we are following with great interest because it sort of is
Walk up and down that.
in our public transport system, and that 50 cents for a bus ticket might seem good on the surface, but
Why not?
perhaps it's not.
Oh, exactly. And I think this is one of those announcements that came out of
Haven't
the
walked it
blue
before, so let's go.
for councils, for transport workers, and Queensland
That's
Rail.
more than 45
I think
degree.
this was one of those,
Hang
hey,
on,
we've got
up
an
there,
election in a couple of months, let's see what we can do to sweeten the deal for some people. So I think a lot of people have this has come as a shock, and now
You
they're
need a bit of
realising the
elevation.
logistics of it, going, well, hang on, I don't think we have enough bus drivers. We don't have enough capacity on our bus network, particularly in the Brisbane CBD.
50% buses coming up in August if they win.
Real worry if this 6-month
50%
trial does
trains.
go ahead.
All the way down
And
to the
if
Gold
that
Coast, but then if you hop
50%
on the
transport fare
Gold
continues
Coast
to go on after
tram,
that
it'll cost
6-month
the full
trial. So
price
we
for
are
that.
speaking to Brisbane
Anywhere
City
else
Council
in
as well tonight
Brisbane,
about that, and just
50
seeing what people in the streets think, because I think people are a lot smarter than they seem, Carla. I think they
Don't
can
know
see
what you
through
could
this,
do
that
on the
this
train.
is just an election ploy.
Train
but we will
content
be-
again coming.
We'll be speaking to them as well.
I enjoy your deep dive. I'll look on with interest, because it is something that I think we are, like you said, just seeing all the way through. Now, I know that you love Instagram, and social media is where we connected.
They reckon
overnight.
Instagram's dying.
And a story that, unless you've been living under a rock or you're not on social media, I think it's wholesome and it's beautiful, and it's the meeting of royalty and pop royalty. I'm talking, of course, of Prince William and taking his children to meet
There's
Taylor
no
Swift and a royal backstage
cement
tour.
sidewalks to walk on.
You've got the full story.
Yeah, we do. This is quite sweet. So during the week, Prince William celebrated his 42nd birthday, and there was a beautiful snap. I'm sure we all saw it. It was flashed over on our news, also Today's show, with him and the kids celebrating. But then he decided to take them to Wembley Stadium in the UK, in London, to see Taylor Swift, the Queen of Pop, like you say. And it's pretty cute. There's a cute little photo of them all together, Dad and the two kids. Louis wasn't there, mind you. So it's the big naughty one, I should say. It's the little one. But he was there, Prince William, and I have to say, his dad move. Oh my!
Hope it's not a dead end street. Can't be. It's time to burn those legs.
Really shaking it off, shall I say?
Oh.
So it is pretty funny.
I see what you did there. Very quickly, you've got some great scenes, some
Nice
stunning
houses.
scenes of the desert.
They have cable TV.
Yeah, who knew that
But
our
technically
red
it's not
desert
cable
would turn
TV.
green? But that's exactly
It's
what's
just
happened.
internet.
So we're going to bring you these amazing pictures from our state's blooming outback. We've got Pat Heaney, our reporter, onto that one, and he's going to show us all the pictures. And it does look spectacular, so you'll have to see it tonight in our news at 6. And we've also got plenty of other stories coming up as well, Carla.
Oh, looking forward to it, and well done, you. Love you to bits, Mia, and you're doing an amazing job, and we'll see you tonight at 6 o'clock on 9 News.
Thank you, lovely. And you sound a lot more attractive than Pegsy on air. So you've done a great job this weekend.
Great for radio. We'll see you soon. See you tonight.
Thank you, mate.
That's Mia Glover, of course, from 9 News. We'll see her at 6 p.m. And this is 4BC with 13 minutes to 1.
Traffic. Want more from your favourite station? Register
That's
now
recently
at
been painted green too.
4bc.com.au.
There's a breakdown on Bruce Highway in Caboolture. Southbound after the Bribey Island Road overpass.
Oh,
No
pick
delays
a
there,
fence.
but it's a slow ride southbound
Bits
through
of tail
Burberry.
light.
There are minor delays both ways
Same
on
colour as
Milton
the house.
Road between Geelong and the city, and it stops out along Anzac Avenue into Section Bay Road through Kippering and Section Bay. M1 heavy
And the gate
southbound
doesn't
through
match
Coomera
the
and
fence.
Helens Vale with northbound
Oh.
delays through Slacks Creek. I'm Peter Gooch on Brisbane's traffic leader, 882 4BC.
See the gate straight.
The greatest sporting event on the planet has a proud new home, the Olympic Games.
I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. I think I can, I think I can.
Direct, rated 4.5 out of 5, based on over 47,000 independent reviews. Issue Auto and General Insurance Company Limited with BDS TMD and reviews info at budgetdirect.com.au to see your products. Individual circumstances and policy terms may vary. Compare for yourself.
At Office Works, we won't be beaten on price. If you find a lower price on an identical stocked item, we'll beat it by 5%. So you can make bigger things happen with Office Works. Price fee guarantee, exclusions apply.
Paying too much for your mobile plan? Break free from that expensive telco with the Escape Plan by a Mason.
It's a city.
50% off. You'll get our $40 mobile plan for just $15 with the
There's a cell
100 gigs
tower.
of data on your first renewal. And as an Mason customer, you could win one of 3 10K holidays. Switch at amason.com.au. 80 gigs for $40 per 28 days ongoing. Active Mason customers.
Behind that tree. It's about 10 kilometres.
Exciting new retirement villages, the Green Tarragindi is ready and waiting.
Stop stealing my car.
This is one place you want to see up close, because seeing is believing. Book a tour today of the Green and discover why
That's 3 levels at the back.
retirement apartments have already sold. Stunningly designed and with flexible care options, the Green really is perfect for now and ideal for later. Book your private tour and inspection today at thegreentarragindi.com.au.
Hi, Kyle.
And Cara here to let you know that
Beaumont's engineered timber is 25% off.
and other hard flooring 20% off.
With new ranges arriving soon and 25% off,
Like us,
you'll be happy you chose Beaumont.
You're listening to
Boo-hoo music.
on Brisbane's 4BC.
Haven't seen in action any vegetable gardens or herb gardens or anything.
Carl filling in for Peter Fegan, who is taking a little break on 4BC weekends. Thank you for your company, of course. If you've got anything you'd like to chat about, 133 882. If you want to text me anything you like, is 0499 880 882. I don't know if you heard about this, but on the other side of the planet this week, the world's worst airline ticket arrived. Canadian budget airline WestJet has unveiled a no-frills ultra basic ticket. No one wants to be called basic, but here we go. I don't expect many Aussies will fly with WestJet anytime soon, unless you are looking to fly cheaply domestically within Canada. But it could set in motion a wider trend across airlines. So what does an ultra basic ticket give you? Basically accesses the plane, and that's it. Hand luggage is not allowed.
Gets taller.
Although you're allowed one small personal item, such as a camera bag. There's also no flexibility, meaning you can't change your booking or cancel after 24 hours, not even for a fee. Selecting your seat will cost you more than usual, so if you don't pay, you'll automatically be given a seat at the back of the plane. You're not going to receive points nor rewards. Add in a checking bag also costs more than a usual fare. And finally, to really bring out the ultra basic element, you'll only be able to board the plane last, which means the whole plane gets to look at you as you trudge your way back to that seat at the back, holding that one small personal item.
Yeah, his hill's getting taller.
But what about
steeper.
the price? How much is that going to set back? Okay, so say you were to fly from Vancouver to Toronto, and economy tickets, it costs around about 361 Australian dollars. Econoflex, which gives you seat selection and a checking bag, is 429 Australian dollars. The ultra basic fare comes in at $314. That's across other domestic flights. The savings is about 12%. It's really not that much. I'm sure other budget airlines around the world, EasyJet, Ryanair in Europe, you've got Air Asia in Southeast Asia, will be monitoring how these tickets sell. Now, I'm sure the cynics out there, me included, will think that this is a sneaky way for the airline to get a ticket for and then charge more for add-ons, which will, blow the price right out of the water than a regular fare.
The street's got a view.
So is 12% enough of a discount for you to sacrifice? Most of the things that you would normally be afforded to you when you book an air ticket. What are your thoughts on an ultra basic airline ticket? Would you do it? Maybe you're just going interstate and you're going to a football match and you just want to take your football along with you to get sun, and maybe you don't need any toiletries for personal hygiene or change of clothes, or you can travel quite simply. Maybe that not having any flexibility or not any ability at all to take anything with you is attractive. Or maybe you use it for work, perhaps. But I mean, with the advent and the take-up of the use of Zoom and Teams and everything else, of video calls, that domestic travel for work is out of the picture. So who would use this ultra basic ticket? I'm not sure that it's enough. The next thing you'll know, these basic airlines will have you standing up at the back of the plane and not even having a seat for you. I'm sure if you could just hockey strap yourself in at the back.
Distance 8 kilometers. Duration 1 hour 39 minutes 4 seconds. Pace 13 minutes 33 seconds per kilometer. 549 kilocalories burned.
Of the band being here for their 1964 Australasian tour, I think we should play Day Tripper. Let's check it out on 40C Weekends.
Like worm casting and horse shit or something. Legs. And you're for sale. $5 a bag. Worm peas, $5 a bag.
Listening for more moments of Olympic magic. Brought to you by NRMA Insurance, proud partner of 4BC's Olympic coverage.
As part of their commitment to help more Australians go anywhere at any time, Uber has introduced a new way to ride. You can now call them on 13Uber. That's 138237. Yep, that's right. No app is required. Simply call 13Uber from any mobile phone. Any time of day. From your mobile phone. So get to it. Call 13 Uber and quote Radio 50 for $50 off your first ride. Call from a mobile. Offer ends 11:59 p.m. July 6, 2024. And only applicable for first Uber trips on all products except Uber Pool.
At SEW Eurodrive, we're a global leader, bringing decades of expertise in designing, developing and manufacturing cutting-edge drive technology to help keep industry constantly moving. SEW Eurodrive, driving Australian industry since 1982.
There's one jewellery sale that shines brighter than the rest. Clayfield Jewellery's massive mid-year sale is on now, with up to 50% off store-wide. Put a bit of sparkle back into your life with 50% off all stainless steel and sterling silver jewellery, plus 30% off all other stock in store, special orders, and everything in their online store. Clayfield Jewellery's mid-year sale ends June 29 or while stocks last. Nunda Village and clayfieldjewellery.com.au.
Thank you so much for your company on 4BC Weekends. It's been a pleasure filling in here for Peter Fegan. He will be back next week in a different capacity, though. He will be on morning
TV stations
as well on breakfast. I'll be back next weekend. If you've got any burning issues or questions or anything you'd like us to tackle here at 4BC Weekends, you can email us weekends@4bc.com.au. Have a wonderful Sunday. Stay safe.
Paris 2024, here on your home of the Olympics.
Blood sugar sensor won't read.
The energy grid would be made of nuclear, renewables like wind and solar, as well as gas. Speaking on the ABC's Insiders program, Shadow Climate Change and Energy Minister Ted O'Brien hasn't been able to disclose how much nuclear will contribute to the energy mix.
We've announced the nuclear part of our policy. We are yet to announce the
Died after a multi-vehicle car crash near a service station in Sydney's southwest. Emergency services were called to the scene on Milperra Road at Revesby after a Ford hatchback and Toyota SUV crashed, blocking the road. The driver of the Ford, a man in his 60s, died at the scene. Milperra Road is closed in both directions. Brisbane City Council has launched an advertising and media blitz to demand more investment in the city's bus network. The council claims the system is chronically underfunded by the state, and the launch of 50-cent public fares in August could result in delays, overcrowding or cancelled services. Transport Chairman Ryan Murphy says the system is at tipping point.
We can either create a whole new generation of public transport passengers here with 50-cent fares, or we can turn on a new generation of transport again. And Brisbane City Council is seriously concerned about the bus network's capacity because it has been neglected for so long by the state government.
A patient who allegedly attacked 4 staff members at Westmead Hospital in Sydney's West will remain behind bars. 2 security guards were left with lacerations, and a third suffered a dislocated shoulder after they were assaulted. A nurse was also injured in the attack. The 39-year-old has been denied bail and will appear before court again tomorrow. And the Westpac rescue helicopters and the financial year appeal is entering its final days. The service conducts more than 1,500...
No, it doesn't have a car, they got push bikes. Pair of shoes up there. That guy's washing his car.
US cents.
Sport from Ipswich to the Bay, Beaudesert to Bridie. This is 4BC.
Good afternoon. Australia's in some trouble against Afghanistan in the Super 8s at the Men's T20 World Cup at 3 for 70, chasing 149 to win. Afghanistan was building nicely through its innings before up stepped Pat Cummins yet again. The Aussie quick taking another hat-trick, achieving the rare feat in back-to-back matches.
Can he get another? He might have back-to-back hat-tricks. Pat Cummins, he does. Maxwell this time. He knows it as well.
Win game at the MCG on Wednesday night. Blues back rower Liam Martin says there's a sense of desperation among the playing group.
If anything, it's probably the intensity from the playing group, knowing that it is a do or die, and we sort of recognise that, and we've got to go up another level. So yeah, it's sort of been driven by the players itself.
Roosters centre Junior Ponga is facing a 4 to 5 match suspension after being sent off for an ugly high tackle on Bulldogs fullback Connor Tracy. In a blow for the Rabbitohs, coach Ben Hornby says strike centre Campbell Graham won't be back this season due to a sternum injury. And Australia's Robert Whittaker has wound back the clock with a stunning first-round knockout in the UFC. That's Sport. I'm Brady Evans.
It's gone 1:30. That's the latest news and sport.
Right now, distance 9 kilometers. Duration 1 hour 50 minutes 13 seconds. Pace 11 minutes 8 seconds per kilometer. 609 kilocalories burned.
Consider a career at facility.com.au.
Please like and subscribe.
Celebrating 50 years.
Traffic, Warno, Wynnum, Westlake, Woodridge. 4BC is Brisbane.
In South Brisbane, Cordelia Street's closed between Peel and Melbourne Streets through until midnight tonight for crane removal works. There's been an accident on the Bruce Highway at Ormond Road in Burpengary and a breakdown on the Bruce Highway as well in Caboolture. Southbound after the Bridie Island overpass, and there are southbound delays through Burpengary East. M1's heavy southbound between Coomera and Helensvale with northbound delays through Yatala and Slacks Creek. I'm Peter Gooch on Brisbane's traffic leader.
That's been where it broke down.
Have you ordered your retractable garden hose from Aussie Hoses yet? I have. I love mine.
Paper
Now, who
related,
else has
yeah.
one?
I've been gardening for years, and these are the best hoses I've come across. Perfect for the great Aussie backyard.
I've got a couple too, mate, and washing the car is now a pleasure. No more trimming over hoses.
So what are you waiting for? Order your 20-metre retractable garden hose from Aussie Hoses today for only $169 fully installed. Call the number 134 AussieHoses.com.au.
The cost of living, we've already heard it.
So what is the Albanese government's bright idea?
They're going to make us pay to stream our favourite sport.
What are they thinking? It could cost us thousands.
The Albanese government is taking away one of the last things we can enjoy together for free.
Why do they want us to pay for our free sport?
It's un-Australian.
Let's all stand up for a free sporting nation. Go to freeforeveryone.com.au.
Cement's made to look like wood.
Whether want more from your favourite station, register now at 4bc.com.au.
I think it's cement.
Partly cloudy with the slight chance of an afternoon shower, reaching tops of 21 degrees for the city and Bayside suburbs, 22 in Ipswich. Another cold night ahead, down to 10 degrees. Partly cloudy again tomorrow and Tuesday, tops of 22 and 23. Sunny Wednesday, 25. Showers Thursday, 21. On the bay, southwesterly winds at 15 knots. Seas below 1 metre.
Now, live, right across Australia.
Live.
Continuous cold
Right across the world.
15 in from touch, western side. Now it's with Schneider. He goes on to Luai.
Try. With Mark Levy, Daryl Broman, Mark Riddell, and Neil Breen.
Can I tell you about the Vietnamese bakery? And the same lady's been there the whole time. She's never, ever in my life have I seen her ring anything up on the till other than 0.00. So you pay $5 for your bread rolls, you get your change. But are you saying it's a rort? I'm just saying. She's cash only. Why are you topping? Why aren't you with current affairs?
Yes. Get the cameras. No, you're reading into it. She's got a malfunctioning till.
It's been broken for for 21 years.
Just as broken for you, but it works for them.
Her side works.
Especially if the tax officer's listening.
Live sport and laughter right across your weekend.
If you'd like to come to a long lunch with the continuous call team, what should we start the bidding off? $1,000?
Yeah, I think 1,000 is a nice starting point.
All right, $1,000. That's the opening bid.
You know what? We're going to throw in as well. Yeah, we're going to throw in a parking spot as well.
Listen, can you drop off? There's parking there.
Levy will valet park your car.
Listen, you and you need to stop. Please.
You're a grub.
Where did the whole parking thing come up?
I don't know, but me and Big Guy just know that it irks you.
It irks me because you're buying into the rubbish and getting pedals.
Valet parking. All right, throw it in as well.
The continuous call team, thanks to Macca's, Harvey Norman, Lowe's, Ram Trucks, Uber, Bryden's Lawyers, First Choice Liquor, Karcher, 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Castrol, Ducks Hot Water, and Westpac.
You know what? I've only got one word for you that keeps me regular. Laxates.
Yeah, it does look like a person.
A box of what? They a tablet? Or
A robot. Humanoid.
What do you just munch on him with a knife? I happen when I need a bit off when I'm feeling a little bit fast.
I'm running on top there.
Roddy said he had a box of it.
It's called hands free. I got things in my hands.
Probably a guy, no?
He can't read.
Well, I've got a sleep apnea machine on his head.
What a sight! What a sight!
Hell of an issue.
That's my darling. That's why I'm
Where do you think I get the national team?
4BC Brisbane and network stations across Australia. It's time for the continuous call team.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the continuous call team as the countdown continues. The State of Origin 2 on Wednesday night at the MCG in Melbourne, where the Queensland Maroons can wrap up a third straight series victory, but of course standing in their way the New South Wales Blues, who are prepared to do whatever it takes to set up a decider in Brisbane. They've even got the suspended Joseph Akuso Suali'i training against them at fullback to mimic the Queensland poster boy Reece Walsh. The headlines in the Sydney papers today suggest Mitchell Moses is the chosen one who will guide the New South Wales team to victory, while in Queensland Pat Carrigan has been hailed the Maroons' chief destroyer who will break the spirit of the Blues. The other story relating to Origin is the treatment of Hudson Young, who's been dropped for game 2. Canberra coach and Blues Origin great Ricky Stewart slamming the New South Wales Rugby League's treatment of the front rower as disgraceful. After playing only 22 minutes in the series opener in Sydney, Young's been dumped with Sticky, saying it's either the wrong decision to pick him, or if you want loyalty and passion for the jumper, you've got to show a bit too. I'm sure we'll talk more about that this afternoon, along with some of the other Origin news. We'd love to hear from you, of course, so 131873. You can email us via the website. You can text us as well, 0460 873 873. In the footy this afternoon, the West Tigers will be chasing back-to-back wins when they host the Canberra Raiders at Campbelltown. I know Adam Dewey's been named the Benji Marshall starting side, which indicates he's in line to make his return to the NRL. Stefano Utoikamanu has come out today to assure Tigers fans that he won't be leaving the club before season's end, but he might not be there next season. Well, in the 3 games played yesterday, the Gold Coast secured its biggest victory in the club's history by dumping the Warriors 66-6. Gerard Skelton pulled off the hit of the season. Junior Powell was given his marching orders for a nasty tackle as the Roosters beat Canterbury 26-8 in Gosford. And South Sydney kept its slim finals hopes alive with a 14-0 win over Manly at Olympic Park, with Damien Cook breaking his silence today on the decision to sign with the Dragons by admitting he was angry and disappointed when Souths refused to extend his contract. That's enough from me. Let's welcome the continuous call team on this Sunday. Daryl Bryman, fresh from a big birthday celebration yesterday. Mark Picky-Riddell and Neil Breen. Big man, afternoon to you. I've still got the taste of that beautiful chocolate cake from yesterday. It was delicious.
It was beautiful. Andrew got it from somewhere. I don't know where he got it from, but it was magnificent. And I did Well, Hale into it in a big way. It was good stuff.
You served it up well, big man.
Well, it was a bit sloppy. It was hard to cut it and get it out. It was more like a moosey type thing, but a thick mousse. I love a thick mousse.
Yeah.
You love thick mousse?
It was nice.
Thick mousse is one of my favourite things.
They call it devil's cake.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Or death by chocolate.
I didn't present it very well, but that just gave me more to eat. It was fantastic.
Very nice.
Great to be here. Okay, day of footy. Yesterday I thought I'd think any the game today great. I suppose the Titans are the big talking point, beating the Warriors 66-6. But that's incredible, really, isn't it? I mean, they were on the bottom of the ladder, I think. And given the fact today the Tigers are playing the Raiders, and I must admit I haven't looked at the ladder, I would imagine the Tigers, if they do lose today, probably go back to the tail of the ladder. So I think it's an interesting game, though. To be brutally honest, I'm really looking forward to it. The Raiders on the back of the loss last week, they look pretty strong to me, the Raiders, and the Tigers don't look super strong. But sometimes, you know, you have that one win, even though it was a bit scrappy and probably a bit lucky to beat the Titans last week. It just gives them a bit of confidence, the Tigers, and I think they'll go in reasonably confident. They're playing at Campbelltown. So they've got a bit going their way. It'll be an interesting game, and I'm really looking forward to calling with you, Levy, who I'm going to call. You are, I think, the most promising young caller in the game now, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Would you agree with that, Piggy?
I do agree with that. He's doing a great job.
Is there a stitch-up coming here or something?
Yeah, I'm waiting for something as well.
That's Mr. Honesty. I've changed my...
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Dale.
You two have become bosom buddies,
Well,
haven't
we've
you?
become bosom buddies. We
Yesterday.
just agree on a lot of things.
Yesterday,
excuse me, I stood in solidarity with the big man yesterday because you and Gal were idiots
please.
with some of the things you said, but I also wanted to stand with Darryl because it was his birthday.
So you're with him today, or
No,
you
I'm
haven't
not with him
decided
today.
yet?
No, because I'm already off you, blokes. You and you, Breeny, are trying to stitch me up. Because you're running an overs-unders market because I'm filling in for Ben Fordham.
That's one.
That's two. 9.5.
So these three, we're out there and warming up. They've gone, oh yes, we'll frame a market overs-unders. How many times Levy's going to mention he's got breakfast in the morning?
What time are you going to get up?
No, drop off.
What about all your staff? Are they with you?
Listen,
Is your staff with you?
I don't have a
You've got to
staff.
be solid, big man.
I don't have a
Breakfast
staff.
radio.
I don't have it. I'm the fill-in. I'm just there to fill the seat for
You
Ben.
should bring your own staff.
What are you showing me?
BYO.
I haven't mentioned it 3 times.
It's come up
Yes,
three
you have.
times in the last
No,
minute.
it hasn't.
Yes. It's
Anyway.
three. It's down to
Overs and unders 9.5.
You've got a big couple of weeks.
Yeah, and then we get into the Olympics.
Oh, we don't go there.
Break the Olympic market, big man.
Are you going to the Olympics?
Geez, you blokes are
Are
hard.
you going to the Olympics?
No, Ray and Matt Hill will be over at the Olympics. Ben
Mate,
will be there, and
you-
I'm going to run it all from back here.
You'd just go ape over in France.
Would
It's
I?
a great place. A lot of chicks over there.
Yeah, I don't like travelling there, Darryl.
Well,
But when you cover the Olympics, there's not a lot of...
Leave early.
Around,
Leave early.
Stay in the village.
Busy.
mate, look, I'm telling you. Are you telling me the commentators in the past who have gone to the Olympics, there's no...
No, I'm not suggesting that, but I'm saying when you're doing 14, 15 hours on air, the last thing you want to do is go out and party, unless you're our great mate Davey, who in Beijing, we would go past him at the bar after 14 hours and it'd be, and I said, Dave, I've got to go to bed, mate. I've had a big day. It's my first Olympics.
Distance 10 kilometers. Duration 2 hours. 1 minute 45 seconds. Pace 11 minutes 32 seconds per kilometer. 673 kilocalories burned.
Me. Moving on to you, Piggy. You know how you revved up the St George Illawarra Dragons leading into Anzac Day?
Yes.
Given what you've told us about your youngest boy, Big Willis, talking to Francis Molo and asking him whether he's going to have a dig for the Dragons in the past, is it true Big Willis is putting up his hand for Michael Maguire as the rev up, the hype man for the Blues on Wednesday night?
I don't think he'll need to do that at all. He is excited, though. He's very excited. They're very excited, both of them, about Origin on Wednesday night. So they're looking forward to it.
I've got a new nickname for Big Willis.
What do you got for
His
him?
glass houses.
They're out fishing today. They're out fishing. Oh, well, it's actually, it was nice down our way this morning. There's no rain. It was sun was out, so they'd gone fishing with their cousins for the day. So.
Oh, do they have any trouble like putting the bait on the? What do they use?
They're
are they like? Do they? Please don't tell me they use different bait to try and catch different.
Well, they use lures, big man. soft plastics. They use lures, all of that. They don't worry about the bait too much.
Carrying at least 7 kilos on my back.
Well, they're
It's
grown
like
up
you.
with our kids. They've grown up fishing, so they sort of know.
You know, every
used to wearing
animal
it.
has a smell, a sense of smell. Fish live underwater, right?
That's right.
Do they have a sense of smell? Like, do they smell
Yes.
a worm when it's swimming around near it?
Well, they can sense like blood in the water and things like that.
But that's
can't
not smelling.
they? No, I'm just saying they can sense it.
They pick up
They'll
the
be able
sense
to
of it.
pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because
why else
you
would
can,
you use burley?
and you actually can buy like soft plastics that have got a coating of, fish oil or
Smelly
whatever.
stuff on
yeah,
it.
Really? Yeah.
So
All
fish
different
can
scents.
smell.
Well, I'm assuming so.
Do
Do you think this needs to be investigated
Well,
further? Big Mo?
I've only just thought of
It's
it.
only early. We've only just started the intro.
I'm wondering if the fish are stupid enough to bite on a plastic lure.
Well, they are. I guarantee
They
you
are, because they see it in the water. They go. They don't make the decision. They
They
see it and
taste
go
it.
bang.
Darryl, I was with you yesterday. I'm against you. Of course they're going to bite the plastics. Have you seen how many lures been sold by Shimano and all the different fish companies? They wouldn't be selling them otherwise. Millions.
It's so much easier.
Because you've got all the different types of lures, different colours, different different size.
Sorry, we're getting questions from every angle here.
Do you have a favourite lure?
I'm not a massive lure guy. The kids are. I'm more old school.
Pilchards?
Yeah, pillies, prawns, all that.
Pillies?
Sort of, yeah.
Pillies?
Yeah, squid. Squid predominantly. Because it stays on your hook longer.
What about beach worms?
Beach worms.
Can you catch it with a whiting?
Yeah, they're very difficult.
I can get them.
Can you? With the pillies rubbing it on the bag.
Using my
What
fingers
about
back,
those
get them up.
pumps? Still use those pumps?
Yabby
Yeah,
pump.
yabby pump.
Yeah, yabby pump. Yeah.
Sure. I'm anti-beach fisherman.
Why?
I'm anti.
Here we go.
You don't fish off a wharf, don't fish on a beach.
Why, mate? As long as they're out of the way.
Mate, when I go down to Shoalhaven Edge and I want to go and duck into the surf after I've had a big night the night before.
We just swim somewhere where the
Shoalhaven Head's got 7 Mile Beach. I think there's enough beach for everyone
Well, go and fish somewhere else. Don't fish near the flag.
Can I say to you, I would doubt whether you're a good swimmer.
I'm a great swimmer.
You should be between the flags.
I was between the flags.
No, I don't think
Well,
you
the
were.
bloke's not fishing between the flags.
He was
Otherwise-
fishing next to the
otherwise
flag.
they'd roll him back out.
The fishermen, because I blew up, as I always do.
This is the bakery story.
This is Mr. Australia.
Well,
Fair
he said to me, no, I'm fishing in the channel. I said, well, go and fish another bloody channel.
That's the channel, yeah.
Well, why was the channel next to the flag?
Well, as long as he's not fishing in the flag.
I'm anti-beach fisherman.
Oh, come on.
What do you catch off a beach anyway?
Flathead, whiting, brim. You can get tailor, get out beyond the brim.
Go and get a boat.
You've lost it.
No, fishing off a beach.
The cost of living crisis, and you're saying go and get a boat.
Mate,
This poor bloke goes down, he's trying to catch fish, trying to catch his dinner
He
for his
probably
family,
eats the guts
and
out.
you're into him.
Uses the boat, hits his teeth at the end.
You know why he's talking about boats? Because of the lack of parking at Pronto. That's how they're getting home.
We're off to a break. Back with more.
Now you can reserve an Uber ride up to 90 days in advance, which is helpful if you're watching the game with Xavier tonight. You can reserve an Uber ride for 45 minutes after kick, because you know that's when Xavier will start with his expert analysis, citing irrelevant stats, talking over the commentators, and suggesting he should start his own podcast. Reserve that Uber ride and watch the second half from home. Reserve now, ride later. With Uber Reserve.
Want to see the very best rugby league played at Australia's most iconic sporting ground? Well, here's your chance. Tickets are still available for Game 2 of the Ampol State of Origin series this Wednesday night at the historic MCG in Melbourne. We all know this is a decider, so it's going to be a fierce battle between two arch rivals. The Blues bounce back to level the series, or can the Maroons secure a third straight series victory? Be there to witness a night of unreal footy at the MCG. Head to nrl.com/tickets to secure your seats.
Harvey Norman clearance on now. The latest tech priced to clear. Save up to 30% on Windows 11 computers. French door fridges on sale. Save $120 on Hisense 483 litre with ice and water. Now under $1,500. Up to 40% off floor stock and X-Display, lounges, dining and outdoor furniture. Amazing value. Nebula queen size bed with 3 storage drawers, USB charger and LED lights, $1,399. Harvey Norman clearance. Best brands, best range at the best price guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Did you know Apia Insurance can offer personalised advice? Which means they take the time to understand what matters to you most, so you'll get cover that suits you and your budget. That's just one reason we're proud to have been awarded CanStar's Most Satisfied Customers Seniors Insurance 2023. Chat with Apia on 13 50 50 today. That's Apia value. Insurance.